Hey marketing legends, Bren here with a new video. Today what I'm talking about is landing pages for you as a contractor or construction business. Now landing pages are a hugely neglected part of the marketing for many contractors and construction companies and a variety of different businesses in all industries in fact. But what I want to do for you today is show you how you can build better landing pages, improve conversion rates, drop that cost per lead, and give you the ability to scale your marketing digitally. Now you're probably thinking, like, why would I want to do this? Albeit I've already stated many of the benefits. The easiest way for me to really communicate like the benefits of landing pages is, imagine you and I in a competition. We're in your business and we're both the salespeople of your business. You get 50 leads and I get 50 leads. Who's going to sell more? It's obviously going to be you. I have never sold anything in relation to a contracting service, nor have I sold anything in relation to construction. So you might sell 1 in 5, 1 in 7, etc. I'm going to sell probably 1 in 10, maybe 1 in 15. So at the end of the 50 leads, I'm going to get 5 deals. You may get as many as 10, maybe even more than 10. That transforms the whole business that you have. Now in translating this back to landing pages, instead of leads, it's visitors. But your landing page is a salesperson. It's persuading and converting that visitor into a lead. It's selling them to become a lead. Then you carry on as the normal kind of salesperson. That's why your landing pages are so important, because if you can improve the conversion ratio, albeit from your traffic to leads, you've got a better salesperson. That transfers the benefits of what you've just done on the landing page right up through your funnel, your sales funnel. You become more profitable, you generate more revenue, more referrals, etc. That's why this video is so powerful. So with all that said, let's jump over to my computer and we'll have a look at what makes a good landing page. So here we are at my computer. First things being first, the easiest and quickest way to improve your landing pages is to like and subscribe to this video. The reason is that I share practical content like this all the time. It's completely free. And onto that, in this video, I'm going to be showing you not only the what and the why, but I'm going to show you the how. I'm going to go through examples of good landing pages of businesses doing many, many millions. But with that said, let's have a look at this horrifying, heuristic. It's nowhere near as complicated as it looks, and this thing can be applied to a landing page mentally in 10 seconds, and it gives you, without a doubt, like the easiest way to evaluate a successful landing page or a terrible landing page. Now let's just rip through it, and this is thanks to Mac Labs. These guys are brilliant at what they do in terms of conversion rate optimization. They've got a YouTube channel too, so shout out to them. Have never met any of the people there, but they're really sharp. But really quickly, the probability of conversion, which is C, equals it's like 4 is a multiplier. It just shows you how strong each element is. So motivation. So motivation is like, how motivated is the prospect? How motivated is the prospect to do what you want them to do? That's the easiest way to put it. Now, it's the most powerful element, because if you're trying to sell something to people who do not want it, you'll have no luck. So if you're a sporting fan, let's say you support Liverpool Football Club in the world of soccer or football, depending on where you are, and I try to sell you an opposing team's shirt, there's no chance. A non-political way to say this, if you've got a weight loss supplement and you're trying to sell it to people who have no weight issues, you're going to have a bad time. But if you're trying to sell it to people who are concerned about their weight, they're a little bit weight challenged, let's say, you're going to have a better success rate with them, kind of thing. So motivation is the most important part of your marketing. So good ads, good targeting equals good motivation. Now then we come into 3V. Now that's a clarity of your value proposition. Why should someone buy from you as opposed to a competitor or doing nothing at all? If you can answer that, you've got the second most important aspect of your marketing done. We're going to talk about that a little bit further on and give you examples. Moving into 2, so that's 2 incentive minus friction. So we see that incentive to take action, friction of the elements of the process. So incentives are like veteran offers, free demolition, etc., free consultations, any kind of incentive in order to get the person to do your desired action, no matter what it is, whether it's to sign up to an email opt-in list, whether it's to sign up for a free consultation, etc. What kind of incentives can you offer in and around that to improve the likelihood that someone will do what you want them to do? Friction comes down to making it difficult. If you've got 50 form fields to fill out, no one's going to want to do it. If you make things too hard, people are lazy. They won't do it. So making things simple and easy, you'll have a very, very good likelihood of success. And then 2A is anxiety. No one likes to feel anxious. So if you have a lack of social proof, credibility, people don't know how good you are, or you can't prove how good you are, you create anxiety. They won't want to work with you. So you can quickly have a look at landing pages like, okay, how good are my ads and stuff? How good is my targeting coming in? How good is my value proposition and the copy, the benefits, etc. around what I'm selling? Do I have a good offer, good incentive? Am I making it easy for the person to do? And am I backing up what I'm talking about, kind of thing, with proof and credibility elements, etc. Really, really simple. And I'm going to show you how to apply it to landing pages, in a few moments in this video. But there are 6 pretty much necessary elements for order to have a successful landing page. Now I'm going to quickly just summarize them. So clear headline, subheadline, supporting page, supporting image, primary information, easy to read body copy, social proof, and a call to action. Pretty simple stuff. So let's just go through them. So headline, subheadline. Now there's a whole ton of stuff that goes into making a good landing page, but I'm going to give you like the 80-20 rule. Going to give you 80% of the important stuff in just 20% of the time. This video could be like probably 3, 4, 5 hours, but in the space of like probably 20 minutes, I'm going to give you the majority of what you need to know along with examples. So with your headline, subheadline, you want to communicate value and progress the person through the further of the page, right? So think about your headline think about your headline in a way that because you're selling such an expensive product or service, it's a service obviously for contractors, but I always refer to things as products, but because you're selling such an expensive service, it's one of the most expensive services that anyone will ever purchase in their lives. A new home, new kitchen, a new bathroom, etc., etc. People are spending many, many thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. The more you tell, the more you sell. Like length of your page kind of implies strength. Length implies strength. So the more you tell, the more you sell. So you want your headline and subheadline to move people into further in the page. So keep in mind the self-interest of the prospect, not your own self-interest. What do you need to tell them in order to get them further into the page? So we see a couple of headlines here. We're going to see these landing pages that bring it all together with a patio. Specific, perhaps you're thinking about doing some outdoor stuff. You can bring the whole kind of outdoor entertainment idea that you have together with a patio. And then we've got protect your home with a better roof. And then we've got some sub-headlines, or sub-headline I should say. Or kind of like lead copy, if you want to get technical. I suspect you could refer to it as that. And that's progressing people and help qualifying people into that page and getting them to read more. Moving on to the supporting image. The primary image that you should be recognizable in terms of the service that you have and potentially also the brand. But being recognizable to the service that the person is interested in is slightly more important, in my opinion, than the brand. People are only worried about their self-interest. They're not worried about your brand yet, in my opinion. So you want the image to support what you're offering, but also complement the value that you're offering on the page. So in this example here, we see safely transform your home. This is a COVID, and it's on a slider. We can see the arrows just here. I don't like this image a great deal. No offense to the company, but people talk about COVID safety, but it's kind of like you can have a design consultation virtually. So there's a designer and this is supposed to be the prospect. This is the home. So they're going to go through the home and what you can do and what you can't do, etc., etc. And they're just showing that they're safe. And this is the end result. I don't like how it's structured, but it's got some good elements to it. It's got demonstration of how it happens. It's got some COVID topical related stuff. It's loosely necessary. And then they've got future pacing. Can you future pace the prospect? And that this is what you could end up. So future pacing is like, imagine, imagine once we've finished your landscaping job that you'll have a deck and an outdoor area that's perfect for entertaining, etc. So you're putting the prospect into the future so they can start to imagine, what their end result is going to be. One thing that works really well is like before and afters. It tells a story, it demonstrates, etc. It does really well for construction and contractors because people are visual. We love to see the before and afters. It also implies a lot of credibility because people can see what you've done, the before and afters and stuff. So yeah, before and afters I think are pretty good. So now we're up to easy to read primary body copy. This is really important because you want to make it easy to consume, because the more you tell, the more you sell, as I've said earlier. But not only do you have to tell, but you need to actually get the prospect to consume it, because if they haven't consumed what you need them to know, they don't have the knowledge in order to make a decision. So the first point here is, what do you need to tell your prospect in order for them to know enough to pick you over a competitor or to do nothing at all? They're pretty much the three options that a prospect has. So ideally you can list these things out on sticky notes and then like build them out, like add the added punch, the features, the benefits, the emotional appeals to each of the sticky note points that you make. Another way is to record the phone calls. If you're a salesperson of your company or someone else's, record their phone calls. You'll see common questions from prospects, etc. So that will give you a good idea what prospects need to know in order to make a decision, but you want to make it easy to consume. Next, we've got, make sure that your page is optimized for cell phones and mobile phones. Cell phones in the US, mobile phones for a fair few other countries, etc. Same thing. But mobile phone usage to browse for construction companies and contractors is rising at such a rapid rate. It's pretty much, it shades the majority of how people are viewing these pages. So if you do not have a good landing page, or your website's not correctly built for these devices, you're gonna have a big problem. Your conversion rates are going to stink, your cost per acquisitions are going to go through the roof, and life's going to suck pretty badly. So that's important. And again, self-interest. We're all self-interest orientated. Speak on the behalf, speak to the prospect in order what they're going to be interested in. What do they need to know, and how does it benefit them? That's really important because that's all they're concerned with. So here we have an example. So like, make your home the envy of the neighborhood. Really cool kind of headline, emotional, status, ego, etc. Then we've got some lead copy in, and then we've got some bullet points, elegance, durability, and then they're building out what those bullet points mean here with a bit of added copy. It's pretty easy to consume in terms of layout. The design could be a little bit better. White doesn't contrast against the background all that well, so it just makes it a little bit difficult to read, but nonetheless, pretty good job in terms of copy, in my opinion. Next, we've got social proof, really important. This is a quote by Gary Benzavenga, one of the greatest living copywriters. Literally, like, guy's a damn genius. You can't hire him anymore, but he would charge 6 figures to write a letter that goes in the mail, or probably I think he charges over 6 figures even to write website copy as well. The guy's really good. His quote here: "When you make credibility an essential, highly visible part of your marketing, persuasion can flow like silk because your most commonly encountered enemy, skepticism, is largely swept aside." This is where we get into anxiety, right? So reviews, testimonials in all formats, videos, text, imagery, etc., awards and associations, before and after images and videos are really cool and help a lot. Endorsements, celebrity endorsements, things like that, association endorsements, conferences, etc., media endorsements, things like that. Current guarantees and warranties help a great deal. And then the backstory of the key person, I find, is really powerful when you speak. If you're the owner of your company as you're watching this video, if you speak about yourself and your story, people really resonate with that. We love stories, and it shows a lot of like personality, human touch, and you can do like a lot of selling in like a crafty way if you know how to craft them without actually selling. So it's kind of cool, but you need to dig down. It's not nice talking about yourself, and it's always nicer if someone else does it for you, kind of thing. They can ask you questions, you answer them, and they can put that all together for you and essentially help like script out a little bit of a video if you're gonna do it that way, or text. They can write it for you. It's never nice to write about yourself. I hate looking at myself in these videos, in fact. So it's awful when I have to write for myself. Call to action, really important. And the reason why, if you don't ask, you don't get. So think of it like a transaction. I'm going to get the information from a prospect, so they're giving me something. What am I going to give in return? What are you offering? And what kind of incentive, kind of thing. So make it specific. Location and color is important. So you want it in a prominent area. You want it to kind of contrast so it sticks out a little bit, the rest of your design. You don't want people to miss it. You want it to lead to the next logical step. So the next logical step, if you're into like bathrooms or roofs, is to get a roof inspection, free consultation, design consultation for your bathroom, etc. Whatever it is for you, it's probably pretty simple because you're in that industry and it's pretty simple, but you need to make it simple for the prospect. And have you considered the prospect's self-interest? Again, self-interest. We're so self-interest orientated as humans that you just can't get away from it. This one is an example here. It's okay. It contrasts. The form fields are probably a bit heavy. You don't need address at the address at this stage, etc. So if you removed a few form fields, it makes it easier to complete. And there's no real free consultation, speak with our design consultants. What am I going to get in that consultation kind of thing? I think if you build that out a little bit better, you'll do a fair bit better in terms of conversion. But as it comes down to it, I mean, these guys at least have a pretty contrasting call to action. So they're doing pretty good, in my opinion, but it definitely can be a lot better. Now, one little tidbit, I did cut this from 6 down to 5. I merged 2 into 1. But I was going to break up headline and sub-headline, and that's why when we just zipped back through the 6 elements, they're actually 5. I chucked a 2-for-1 deal in for you kind of thing. But with that said, let's jump over to some examples, and we'll have a look at some companies doing well, what they can do better, and we can apply that heuristic that we saw at the start in order for you to get an understanding how you can build better landing pages for yourself. Okay, so I've got 3 landing pages really quickly with System Pavers. These guys are doing, I think, close to 100 million a year. So these guys are doing really, really well. And we can see really quickly, they've got 3 different landing pages for slightly different services and stuff, but they're testing a lot of different landing pages because they know that landing pages, as aka the salesperson, are really important. The better they can be, the more money you will make. So really quickly, we've got a limited offer, spring sales event, not too specific to the service of what they're coming into, so less than ideal. We've got a call to action form here, schedule a free design consultation today and save. Not too specific, I think it can be better. It contrasts quite nicely, it's in a pretty prominent position, etc. Not too bad. Motivation, we're not going to have a look at because I'm not going to have a look at their ads in this video, but in terms of reducing anxiety, we've got some social proof here, and I think we've got some more social proof in terms of before and afters down here, which is nice. We've got testimonials, reducing that anxiety, building up that credibility and stuff. A lot of imagery, a little bit of stock photography, which I'm not a fan of. You know, these aren't stock, I would safely assume, but they're that good that it looks like stock. So I would recommend, if you're going to put an employee in, try and make it obvious, like, maybe you can't see me, but like put like your branding in the shirt. So they've got a logo here that's like I'm terrible with colors, but that's like I don't even know what color it is, but I just know that shirt's not the same as that color. So I think that helps like people recognize that it's not stock photography. Whereas you come down here, it just stinks of stock photography, not that image, of course. But we come down here, it's pretty easy to consume in terms of like reducing the friction. So like friction, easy consume, short, sharp paragraphs, small little headlines to make things easy to connect, etc. And get started, another call to action, zooms you straight back up to the top. So pretty good landing page, etc., etc. I think these guys are doing a pretty good job. See another one here, bring it all together, seen that before, elegance, style, longevity, talking about that, easy to consume, a nice contrasting call to action. And as we come down, easy to consume, we've got, credibility, reducing anxiety, call to action, before and afters, so we can scroll through them. So different format, different style here, but a lot of similarities because these guys have been testing for so long. They have a fair idea of what works and what doesn't work, and we see a very similar kind of layout. Different copy though, so like we can see, we just quickly scroll up, a bit longer, a bit shorter. Who knows which one works better? They hopefully do. And then we just scroll down, we see like this time, this is for driveway, schedule, design, so a process. Then they're trying to detail what types of different styles that they offer. So trying to cover all the bases, proof, etc. These guys do a pretty decent job. Similar kind of layouts, and we've got a guarantee in this one actually. So, this again, reducing anxiety. Also like loose incentive, you could paint it in that fashion too. So a good kind of style of landing page. Copy's written pretty well as well. I'm not going to go through that all too specifically in here, but you can see really quickly, like durability, for instance, strong enough to handle long-term wear created by cars, trucks, RVs. So it's just showing the strength, that they're like demonstrating it through text. Really, really cool. These guys do a really good job. Next, we've got Hanson's, 1-800 Hanson's. I think they're just a roof company. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, like just a roof company, but I think they only do roofs, which is perfectly fine. So protect your home with a better roof, good, direct, extreme clarity around the headline. We've got like a subhead or lead, depends how you look at it here. And then, again, protects against winds up to 150 miles per hour. It's professionally installed, long lasting, lifetime guarantee. So jam-packed with a little bit of demonstration in terms of how strong it is, and then some benefits, etc. They've got a spring sale, save up to 50%. So people self-interest, always worried about money, with free estimate. We've got a guarantee, really good, reduces anxiety, obvious benefits to guarantees. We've got social proof, things like that, different forms of social proof. So these are like testimonials. Then we've got like third-party credibility. And then this is more about the unique mechanism. So like their unique value proposition kind of thing, like superior material, weather resistant, impact resistance, etc. Shows you just why and how good their product and service is. This could probably be higher, I think. I'd be interested to see it being higher, and just making a bit more prospect focus, so how this all appeals to the prospect's self-interest. I think that would be much more interesting. And for you construction guys that are building homes and big projects like this one's a home builder. I think these guys can do a fair bit better, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of this one. I think this image is quite complicated, like with like four homes, I think, like built together kind of thing. I don't think that's good. I think it just adds a little bit of complexity that's unnecessary to the page. Princeton Ridge now selling from the low 200s. That's fine. We've got some like virtual tours and stuff like that. We don't really see a good call to action. Contact us today is pretty poor. And then not really like outstanding features, not really speaking to the prospects, just like it's kind of like a computer when you see the specs of computer, like CPU, RAM kind of stuff. Like, why is this important? Like, these people, the people buying construction kind of services and contracting for that matter, if they knew what they needed to know, they would be able to do the job themselves. Maybe they haven't got the team to do construction work, but like they don't know. They're geniuses in their own little world of where their careers have led them. But just like you, or just like me, for example, once I get out of like the world of marketing, I'm next to useless in almost everything. So I'm good at what I do, but once I get out of it, I'm pretty terrible. So you need to speak to your prospects like that too, because they don't know your world as well as you do. Yeah, I think that these guys could do a fair bit better. They do well in terms of these virtual tours, I think, but I just don't like the page in terms of the way it communicates, etc. It's just a bit clunky. Then you've got this, it's like I don't know what you'd really call it is, like come and see blooming at Rocklyn Homes. It's kind of like a call to action in a way, but it's just, there's no obvious like what's the right action. Like they say it, but like it's clickable and it takes you to a like just a bigger version of this. Like it might be working, and that's great if it is, but you can make it better. You can make it work better. Better salesperson, like me at the start. You go from like I'm the salesperson for this page, but you can move it to like something like twice as good, I reckon, without too much trouble. See another one here. These guys, we're going to pop up straight away, but I'm sold. This is like really cool. I like this. So I'm sold, find similar homes. So this is like presupposition. It's a really powerful kind of tactic, because what it does, it's implying that we're good because we've sold the home, right? Now that's really important, because a lot of what people do when they judge people is presupposition. Like you see like a fit person driving a nice car, you're probably thinking they're well put together. They're probably mental in terms of like, their personality, but they've got their own demons and troubles in their life, surely. But it's a good way to evaluate that. They've got a good job, they've got a good car, they're physically healthy kind of thing. They're probably, they're well put together. What they say is probably what they're going to do kind of thing. So it's like you can infer a lot of information just by subtle different aspects of the way that you do things kind of thing. So these guys are implying that we're that good that we've already sold this home, right? But find similar homes. I would make this more obvious, right? Because you can't sell the same home twice, kind of thing. Like that's obvious. So I'd make this obvious. So you need to get them into the next logical step, like I referred to earlier in the video. So See how it says like just sold? No worries, we've got you covered. They do this for a number of landing pages, these guys. Really cool idea. I've never seen it before. And because they're doing it multiple times, I suspect it's working. So, you know, they've got homes in Nampa, similar priced homes, etc. And then they've got private homes in Brookdale Estates. And, you know, they've got some generic information about this home, some more information, a little bit more in depth, 3D view, free access, etc., etc. We've got a layout, much nicer, much more psychology going into this one. They can just be a bit better with their call to actions and probably reducing the anxiety a bit. There's a little bit of social proof, like just coming like down here and stuff. But, you know, and like we've got Idaho's #1 builder, but like, why isn't this up higher? And like, how do I prove that that's true? What the hell does that mean? Like, how do I know that that's true, kind of thing? So this one's interesting. I'd love to have a look at the numbers, but I can't do that because it's not possible. But geez, I'd love to have a look. So that pretty much wraps up today's video, but just a few things. Like, as I mentioned, I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed to the video. It does help me a fair bit, actually. So like, if you liked what you see, you'll get to see more of it, kind of stuff. I'm always producing content and things like, you know, practical advice and helping you execute it as well. So not just like the why and the how. But if you want to have a chat to me, it's completely free. We can have a chat about your marketing. We can go through your ad campaigns and stuff like that, be it Google, Facebook, emails and stuff like that. All you have to do is just whip over to my website. It's in the description below, but it's just my name, brenhamel.com. You can just scroll down, click the button, and fill out the form. And once you've done that, you know, you and I will schedule a time. Doesn't cost anything. Sometimes I chat to people for half an hour. Sometimes I chat to them for an hour. It's just about how much value I can give to you in that short period of time in order to help you. And if you want to have a chat about working together, that's completely up to you, but I never bring that up. With that said, I look forward to catching you in the next video. And, you know, good luck with your marketing. Hope you're being successful and crushing it. And, you know, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.